So, this video is circulating online of a pregnant woman who was caught issuing fake alerts in the market in Benin. And when she was exposed and confronted in the market there, everything went left instantly. She was held down, and as more women or more people came to identify her to be the woman who had also done fake alerts to them in previous times, this said woman suddenly went into labor. Except at the initial time of her going into labor, they did not believe her. They thought she was faking it. They thought she was pretending. They thought she was just trying to get away from being caught and being held responsible. And also being told and made to pay, because they had a plan to also disgrace her, parade her along the market way, which they did. But the said woman kept insisting that she was going into labor. But these people had difficulty. It was all too convenient. Now we won't disgrace you. Now we won't hold you responsible. Now you want to go into labor. You lie. In the video, you could hear some saying, nothing is wrong with you. Everything is fine. You're pretending. You're strong. Stop lying. Stop faking. Eventually, she was taken to the police station, where she also asked for help, taking off her clothes, really indicating that she was actually getting ready to give birth. Then she was put in a wheelbarrow and was as well eventually taken to the hospital. In the comments of the video circulating on TikTok, somebody indicated that they actually did see her actively trying to give birth, that they even saw the baby head coming out of her at the point, and that was when they knew it was serious. However, though, in as much as she went into labor, she still did fake transactions. And what's going to happen with that? What about that? Is she going to be arrested eventually? Will she pay for what she had done? Even in the videos, you could hear people saying, call your husband, and eventually that the husband will be the one to pay. And there were people in the comments saying that these market women did not have any compassion. And there were those who were of the opinion that, well, it's all too convenient, because at the end of the day, she's still a thief. Just because she's pregnant and going into labor does not absolve her of the crime she has committed, and that she will still pay whether or not she is in labor or whether or not she gives birth. And there's a whole conversation saying, okay, what if she lost a child? Wouldn't that be on the head of the people who try to, hold her down? And it's a tricky conversation, but my thought is, yeah, she's a pregnant woman who stole. So at the end of the day, if giving birth is the priority, she should give birth. But eventually, she would come back to face the music of the fake transaction she's been doing. Either she pays or, something is done about it. I mean, something got to be done. These are people you scammed of millions. So something got to be done about it. She still has to be held accountable for it, giving birth or not. Some people just want the whole sin or the whole crime to be forgiven and washed away because she went into labor and she has given birth. But you guys, let me know your thoughts.
The Imo State Police Command was said to have arrested a young man identified as Chima Jeremiah Nnadi for the killing of a 19-year-old girl identified as Chinemere Precious Nduka. So this whole incident was said to have taken place at a place called Njaba local government area in Imo State on the 30th of August 2025. Precious's mother was into daily contribution, what a lot of persons know as Akawu or Susu, depending on where you are in Nigeria. But she does a business of collecting and saving money for people, which is known as daily contribution. She helps you save money. At the end of the month or end of the year, you get your money and she gets her profits. So that fateful day, she sends her 19-year-old daughter Precious to go to this man's house, Mr. Jeremiah's house, to collect his daily contribution and mark his card. So Jeremiah is one of the persons who saved money with her, and that fateful day, being busy, she sent her 19-year-old daughter Precious to go over to Jeremiah's house, mark his card and collect his money. Precious finished whatever she was doing and headed straight to Jeremiah's place to recover the money. On getting there, instead of Jeremiah to give Precious the money she came to collect, he tried raping her. Like he tried to force himself on her. When Precious refused, they started having an argument. He started fighting with her. In the process of fighting with her, he strangled her till she died. This girl was said to have gout and was preparing to go for an operation. Jeremiah was also in fact aware that this girl had gout and was preparing for operation, but still he strangled her till she died. After killing her, he left her there and ran away. The mother, on not seeing her daughter for a very long time, decided to go to Jeremiah's house to look for Precious. There she found her daughter lying dead and she raised an alarm. They reported the incident to the police and they started looking for Jeremiah. The following day he was caught and arrested, and the whole story took a different turn. The family said Jeremiah's family members were trying to probably sweep the whole matter under the carpet, that they were proposing another option. You've killed this girl instead of people to give justice to her. That the family was suggesting that Jeremiah gets married to her dead body and performs the burial rites. Like Precious's family should allow Jeremiah to pay her bride price and marry her normally, then bury her as his wife. That way he won't even face any punishment. His only punishment will be that he married the dead body. For someone's child you killed, the 19-year-old girl who simply just came to collect money from you. What is even wrong with people? A lot of persons are actually so demonic and evil that they have no sympathy in them. They have no conscience. You wanted to have sex with this girl, she said no. You wanted to force yourself on her, she said no. And the next thing you could do to a 19-year-old girl who came to collect money from you was to strangle her till she died, despite knowing she has a throat issue. You strangled her till she died. And now your family is proposing that they allow you pay her bride price so that way you could just bury her as your wife. Are you okay? I don't know, because at this point I really feel bad for the family. They are calling out to social media, they're calling out to activists, lawyers, anybody who could be of help to them to see that justice is given to their daughter, that the person should reach out to them, because this whole thing is very painful. All she did was to say no. Her only crime was to say I'm not interested. And this young man, who probably is tired of life or who doesn't have a purpose, decided to just strangle her to death. I pray and hope the whole matter doesn't get swept under the carpet and she gets justice. However, what is your take on the story? Please drop it under the comment section. And don't forget to share this video. Have a great day. It's really just sad how people now kill over little and unnecessary things. So a 20-year-old young boy identified as Squadro Bright was said to have been stabbed to death over plastic chair arguments in Kumasi on Thursday the 4th of September 2025. Now, Bright's mother said she was sitting down in the early hours of that day when she overheard people screaming from a nearby snooker center that a boy has been stabbed. She quickly rushed down to see what was going on, only for her to realize it was her own son in his pool of blood. Now, this was what happened. According to sources, that was a very popular snooker center. Everybody come there to play snooker and watch games. Sources said Brett and his friends started arguing over who kept that particular plastic chair there. Probably there was no other seat to sit down, and so the both of them started laying claim to that particular plastic chair. People standing by said the arguments were so heated that they even had to intervene. They separated them and they restored calm. Unknowingly to them, Bright's friend was not okay with it. He was still angry. He left the snooker center even without anybody noticing. This guy came back with a knife and attacked Bright from behind. He stabbed him in his neck and ran away. That was how Bright fell down and was bleeding. He was quickly rushed to Comfort and Nokia Teaching Hospital in Kumasi, where he was pronounced dead on arrival by the doctors on duty, because this whole incident was said to have happened at the Ashanti New Town in Kumasi. Eventually, the Kumasi police were informed and currently they are conducting an investigation. They are yet to release an official statement as the suspect, whose identity wasn't even revealed, is currently at large. He's still on the run, while Brett has been deposited at the mortuary. This is just sad because Brett is just a 20-year-old boy. His mother is still weeping. She's still in shock because she and her son woke up together. She and her son slept and woke up together. Her son just left her and went to a snooker center, probably to just watch match, only for her to receive information that someone had been stabbed. And on getting there, she found out it was her own son. This is really tragic because why are you people fighting over plastic chair? What would even make you have the mind to stab someone over plastic chair? Really, a lot of persons are possessed. So many persons are very evil. I don't even know what to say about the story. However, if there is an update to the story, you'll be the first to know. And if you live around Kumasi or you live around the area where the incidents happened and you know more about the story or you have an update to the story, please do well to share it under the comment section and have a great day. Imagine killing a person because of an ordinary phone call. The South African police were said to have arrested a 35-year-old man identified as Mojalefa Soyane for the killing of his 40-year-old girlfriend, Connie Dipo, at their hometown in Phase 9, Free State, South Africa. Sources said Mojalefa worked as a DJ in a nearby bar, while Connie, on the other hand, was previously married and was living with her husband before her husband passed on. Then when her husband died, she met Mojalefa, they started dating, and eventually they moved in together and started living as a couple. Mojalefa was the one who moved in with Connie. It's not clear if he moved in with her at the late husband's house or she rented another apartment and they were staying together. However, Mojalefa was the one who moved in to live with her. So it's safe to say she was doing better than him, or he was broke. So they were living together until that fateful day the incident happened. Now it's not clear if their relationship had always been toxic or it was peaceful till the incident occurred. However, neighbors said in the early hours of that Sunday, the 10th of August, they overheard Mojalefa and Connie arguing over a phone call. That Mojalefa saw Connie receiving a call, and so he suspected it was from a guy and he accused her of cheating. They started arguing, and in the process of arguing, they started arguing over car key. Probably he wanted to drive out or she wanted to drive out and the other person refused. They, however, argued about car key while they were still arguing about the phone call, and that was how Mojalefa attacked her, striking her with a very sharp object. She fell down. On seeing that she was bleeding, Mojalefa picked her car keys, stole some of the household appliances. Probably he found out that she was already dead. He stole about 2 televisions, he stole microwave and some other valuable things from the house. He went out, sold them, used the money to buy petrol for her car, and drove out to the car. So the neighbors said the whole of that day they didn't see Connie, and they became worried because that was unlike her. The following day, being the 11th, Connie was still nowhere to be found. However, they saw Mojalefa coming out of the house, so they asked him of Connie's whereabouts, and he started giving them excuse that Connie went to her family house. Some even said he told them Connie was sick. Some of them didn't believe the story because they found it strange, and they decided to call Connie's cousin to find out if truly she went to their family house, one of them who had the cousin's number. When they called Connie's cousin, she told them that Connie had not visited, that she was not at the family house, and that was when they knew something was wrong. The cousin suggested they go and break into her house to find out if she's okay, if she's inside. On passing through the house, they peeped from the window. There they saw Connie lying lifeless in a pool of blood. So they quickly alerted the police and paramedics. On getting there, after observing her body, the paramedics suggest Connie must have been hit with a sharp object, while some other persons are suggesting she was stabbed. However, her body was moved to the morgue and they started searching for Mojalefa. On Tuesday, the 12th of August 2025, her car was found by the 8th Road, and they put up a public notice on social media to help find Mojalefa as he was wanted. That same morning, someone saw him in Bushabelo in a house they believed belonged to one of his relatives, and immediately alerted the police of his current location. Now, it's not clear if the relative is aware of what he did or he just told the relative he wanted to visit and the relative allowed him to stay there. They called the police. When the police and some other community members arrived at Bushabelo where he was hiding, they met him at a shop, caught and arrested him. That was how he confessed to his crime and took them to the various locations where he sold Connie's appliances. So as it stands, hopefully they are going to charge him to court and justice will be given to this woman. But it's just strange how you kill a person you claim you love because of an ordinary phone call. It's not even clear if the person was cheating. You just overheard the person making a call and then you dropped into conclusion. Imagine us that have male friends. May God just protect us. It's just unfortunate. However, what is your opinion on the story? Please drop it under the comment section and share this video.